Do you love chickens, but you're a little short on space? We're counting down the internet's top 5 Bantam breeds for small farms. We'll see if these guys agree. Before we get into our Bantam breeds, we just want to cover one of our comments from a great listener. First of all, this is Chris Davis, 8220. They say, wife and I are in the process of setting up a coop or run to try backyard chickens for the first time. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you have suggestions on what you have found to be the best watering and feeding systems.
Sure. So it's going to vary depending on what works for you. For me, I like quantity, right? I hate having to go down there every single day to make sure and haul food every single day. So I love the 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
Right. And I got on Amazon, whatever, and you buy the little kit where you drill a hole and you put the little thing, and then they stick their head in, and it keeps the mice out. I can hang it up off the ground. I don't have it all over the ground. I don't have the mess, and I can fill that 5-gallon bucket. I have 3 of them. Mm-hmm. I have 3 5-gallon buckets around the coop. So once a week, like on Saturday, can be my fill the bucket day, and I don't have to mess with chicken food the rest of the week. Fantastic. Chicken water is the same way. I used to do the 5-gallon buckets with the nipples. I struggle with that. So for me, I find my birds drink best just from open water. So I've got some of those. You get like a tire, and then there's a little tub you sit inside the tire, and I couple those with water, and in the winter I use heated dog dishes.
Yeah, so similar to the feeder you were talking about, I just bought a commercial one, but it's similar in that it has the openings that they have to reach in to get the food so it doesn't make a huge mess. It sits up off the ground, so you don't have all the bugs and the mice getting in there very easily. And the best thing I like about it is that it'll hold 50 pounds of feed all at once, and it makes it so much easier that I don't have to go out there and feed them every other day or so. It leaves plenty for them. Now when it comes to waterers, I've also done the 5-gallon bucket with the nipple waterers. I also struggled with it, so I just have a heated water fount is what I use, just your normal one, but I keep it elevated, so I hang it so that that's not something that is going to get a lot of poop in it, a lot of dirt and bedding scratched into it. Because if I just set a waterer on the ground, my chickens are going to make it a mucky mess in about 5 minutes. Yeah.
So how much water do you think a chicken drinks, one chicken in a week?
Well, it depends on the time of year, of course. It is important to make sure they have fresh water even in the winter time, because it helps with the digestion process, and of course, we all need water to survive. But in the summertime, they're going to go through a little bit more water. You're going to need to change it out more frequently because they don't want, hot water that's been sitting in the sun. So you'll want to make sure that you put it in the shade and keep cool water for the chickens.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get on to our best Bantam breeds according to the internet. We'll see how the internet has done today.
Okay.
So the first one, Silky.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most popular Bantam chicken breeds for a couple of reasons. One, its appearance is very different from a lot of other chickens, and in a very cute way.
Yeah.
So people love the look of the Silkies, and they're also very friendly. They're very gentle. If you have kids, typically they get along fine with the Silky chickens, and those fluffy feathers are just adorable.
Yeah. So I took a sneak peek at the list before we started, and this is the only bird on the list that I've ever owned.
Really?
I'm not a Bantam chicken guy.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm not Bantams, but I did get some
love
Silkies once because we'll get some. They turned out to be all roosters that I got. I picked up 3 and had 3 roosters.
Yeah.
Got rid of them. They do decent in the egg laying, right? You get 100, 120. They're smaller eggs, but they're good for that too. The other cool thing about Silkies is they've got that gene where the skin and the meat and stuff is dark.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
They're kind of unique in that way.
Yeah.
So before we move on here, so talking Bantams, if you're not overly familiar, What's the size difference between a normal chicken and a bantam breed?
It depends. Usually a third to a half the size kind of a normal chicken. So, you take like a Rhode Island Red and a Bantam Rhode Island Red. Right? And then now there are true Bantams, which are chicken breeds where there is no larger size. They only exist in the small size. And then there's the other Bantams, which are bred down versions of the larger chickens.
Okay, so let's move on with our list here. Number 2, or second on the list, Sarama.
Also not surprised by this one.
Yeah.
I know a few years ago when Steve and I entered some birds in the poultry show just to kind of get the experience and see what that was like. First of all, twice as many bantams in that poultry show as there were standard sized chickens, and a large number of them were Saramas.
Yeah.
They're really popular with the show crowd. They're the smallest chicken breed out there, typically no bigger than a pound. So they're really a space saver if you're looking to do that. Like most bantam chickens, the eggs are going to be smaller, and the quantity of eggs is probably going to be less than most standard breeds. But they still do all right with 100 to 150 eggs a year.
And again, they're real popular for show and as pets. These are super friendly birds. Get along very, very well with their owners. The one thing to keep in mind is, again, if I've got a bird that's under a pound, that's not very big. So if you live where it's cold, it's not going to be able to maintain its body temperature on its own. You're going to have an indoor space for those birds in cold weather. So they do come with some challenges. But again, it's like having a freaking parakeet, tiny. So just put it in a cage in the room or something. I don't know.
But they're good looking birds.
They are.
Just
They're
the
gorgeous.
posture
They're
and
gorgeous.
the stance of them, they're just a good looking bird.
All right, moving on. How about the Dutch Bantam?
So, not as familiar with this one, personally. I think they're good-looking birds,
Yeah.
but I really don't know that much about them.
They have really colorful plumage, so yes, they are good-looking birds. I'm also not terribly familiar with them. I've seen them a few times at the fair, but don't really know a ton about them. I know they're good, consistent egg layers, 100 to 150 eggs, and I also know that they're good flyers. So most people are going to keep those wings clipped to keep them from flying away if they keep them outdoors.
Yeah, Bantams, as a rule, are generally better flyers, being smaller.
Yeah.
But some are even more so.
And this is one of those, yeah.
Yeah. You just let them fly around your house?
Yeah. Well, other than when they rented the goats.
All right, how about the Pekin?
The pekin.
Another good-looking bird.
Yeah, but in
Yeah.
my world,
Yeah, but
it has a fault. I am not a fan of feathered feet.
I'm not either, I'll be honest.
So for me, I'm never going to own this bird. They are good-looking birds. I think they do well in confinement. They'll also do well free ranging. They're one of those that can kind of do both. But with those feet, then you got to be careful of mud and wet and that kind of stuff. It
They're
introduces
more
some challenges
prone
if you're trying to do free
foot
range. that
problems.
kind of
They're more
stuff.
prone to infections.
Yeah.
I'm one. I look at this bird and I'm like, I really like the look of feathered feet on a bird, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I don't want to deal with that. So yeah, you got to protect those feathers and keep them clean. But it does do a pretty good job of laying and a good steady output. So
Okay.
good bird.
Now the last Bantam on the internet's list is the Japanese Bantam. What about
Yes.
this one?
Speaking of good looking birds.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Those are-
probably one of the better looking birds, bantam birds, anyways, that I've ever, or maybe any. They've got that elegant look. They've got the short legs, but the upright tails, and they just look pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I
they are,
really
they
like
are
them.
small birds. So again, if you've got them in an outdoor coop, predators, that kind of stuff, it doesn't take, whereas my birds, I have hawks and stuff that fly over all the time, but they don't bother my birds because my birds are bigger than most hawks.
Right.
Something like this is not, it's like a field mouse, right? It's like, oh, that's dinner.
And that's
So
just a
be aware of that.
general thing to think about with bantam chickens if you're keeping them outside. Any breed of bantam chicken is going to be smaller and easier target for predators.
Yeah.
But these Japanese bantams, they're quiet. They do really well in smaller spaces,
And they're just good looking.
and they're just good looking birds. They really are.
Okay, so how do you think the internet did today? We have the list there. Is there anything you would add?
Yeah, actually, there's one that I'm surprised wasn't on the list.
Seabright?
The Seabright.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't know that much about bantams because I'm not interested in bantams, but we've done a lot of research on bantams for those people that are, and put out together a lot of videos. And one of the probably most popular, most common breeds we ever see is the Seabright. Yet it didn't make the list.
Yeah, it's several different colors. A really good looking bird. Both the color pattern and the stance of the bird are really attractive, and it's unique in that the roosters and the hens, they look alike. You know, with most chickens you could definitely tell a mature rooster from a hen, but with this one they look basically the same. Yeah.
All right. So we like the list with your addition?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you love bantams, like and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
If you don't love bantams, like and
Like and
subscribe to the
subscribe.
channel. And in either case, if you have any bantam favorites, put them in the comments. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. You might just end up being talked about in one of our videos.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know if you want more bantam content. We're not experts, but we do know quite a bit about them.
And as always,
Happy every farming.